fellow humans on this Earth, in this Earth 3D plane at this very exciting moment in Earth's history. My name is Ingrid, Blue Heron Warrior Ingrid, Red Lilith Ingrid. I am the essence of all that is, ever has been, and can be. I am consciousness and energy, creating, co-creating, participating in the unfoldment of what's unknown, our future, for a fresh model. And we've all been called. Every single human has been called to unfold with evolution and make known the unknown and stop repeating the past, recreating what's already been created. So, as I discussed last week, how have we arrived at this great law? Well, again, we'll recap. All of our ancestors were animistic. They believed that spirit inhabited everything, and they lived such a life. They talked to the animals, they talked to the trees, they talked to the rocks, they talked to everything, and as a result, everything responded to them. Then polytheism came along, and man sucked the spirit out of matter and put it into these godheads for people to worship, for humans to worship, instead of communing with everything as living. The next step after that was monotheism, which sucked the spirit out of the godheads and put it into this concept of a male god who sits on high and judges us, and flung this male god out into beyond the Milky Way and replaced him on earth with the god of profit, the god of monetization, commoditization, or the god of the Western allopathic medical system with its multi-pharmaceuticals of drugs and vaccines that are supposed to keep us healthy, instead of believing that the great principle that created us is healthy. So then we were left searching for, is there really a God? Even Christians, Catholics, religious people, deep down, they know they're still searching for, is there really a God? Well, science has found this primal energy coming out of this black hole in the universe that created everything we know of. And so they replaced the divinity of God with this word primal energy. And now we're going to call it the great principle, because this is so much deeper. And what the great principle is an action. It performs 5 actions every day, every minute of every day. Number 1, it creates. Because before it can do anything else, it has to create. Then it constitutes. So to create the number, to constitute the number 1, the number 1 had to be created. After it constitutes, it governs. It governs, and then it sustains for all eternity, and then it contains within itself all that it has created. And out of this great principle, God, spirit, great spirit, the source energy, the Veda, the Tao, comes these 8 laws. And some people will tell you there are 12, and I beg to differ with that. Because as I've looked at the 12, the remaining 4 are definitely man-created, like the law of compensation. We could turn into the law of reciprocity, but that's giving without the expectation of being compensated. So Anyway, I'm jumping way ahead of myself. So, law number one that I referred to as principle number one is mentalism, or that God, spirit, truth, love is all in all. All is one. And we create everything out of that oneness with our thoughts. Law number two is what I said, the mirror effect, which is the same law governs always everything, everywhere, in the same way, from the greatest star down to the smallest electron. So again, law one is life, mind, truth, love, spirit is all in all mentalism. We create our reality with our thoughts that become words. And now we'll move on to law number three, which is that everything is vibration. Everything in the universe is vibration. The electron is on, the atom is only in studyable form when it's under the microscope being observed by the scientist. Otherwise, as soon as that scientist blinks, it's in waveless, joyful, waveful, eternal waving dance with the rest of the universe. And the same is true when we close our eyes, everything blinks out into waveform. And when we open them again, we see 3D reality, this living hologram that science has actually turned into a very dead Earth hologram. This is where the hoax of greenhouse gas comes from, climate change caused by our greenhouse gas emissions. And they've also reduced us, thanks to Rene Descartes and Isaac Newton's reductionist theories. They've turned us human, our human, very living holographic human bodies, into also a dead hologram that they can program into obsolescence, like they think they can. Like they have obsolescence for everything so that they can sell more. But that's not the case, because everything is vibration. So this is also how we can explain the G's of the cell phone. 3G, 4G, 5G, they're all vibrations. It's just they're different lengths. So 5G is a very short vibration. Doesn't have much penetrating power, actually, from what I understand, because it's so short and so quick. So you'll hear spiritual leaders say, you got to raise your vibrations, you got to raise your vibrations. Anger is a bad, low vibration. Jealousy, yes, they are very low vibrations, but you also have to understand that the dense, low vibrations create our furniture, our clothes, everything that we love. So why demonize? Why not just accept the vibration of anger and understand that it exists in us, and then it doesn't become a demon that we have to fight. Expanding our vibrations is wonderful, because we only, as science only knows 2 to 3% of our DNA, so we only sense 2 to 3% of what's actually going on around us in waveform all the time. So by raising or expanding our vibration range, we can have a much broader, more beautiful, more colorful, more living hologram that we work with. That's why we want to raise our vibrations. We also want to lower our vibrations even lower. I mean, I love the bass in music. So if you raised your vibrations, we would only have trouble. Where would music be? Where would the beauty of music be without the bass? But we also don't want just bass. So it's a balance. This is the Tao. The principle of the Tao is the middle balance. And we'll get into that. That's actually one of the laws, but not this week. So remember, everything is vibration. And we'll discuss Law 4 next week. Again, my name is Ingrid. I've been your host and guide on this warrior musing. I am the essence of all that is, ever has been, and can be. Energy and consciousness is what I am, creating, unfolding with all of nature, with all of the universe into the unknown, making it known. And we have all been called to do this. So the Titanic has broken, folks, and it is sinking fast. How are you going to navigate the void? Ring, ring.